Ever wondered how the world's wealthiest families raise their kids? Is it all private jets and diamond-encrusted pacifiers, or is there a secret source to their educational approach that helps them raise the next generation of leaders and innovators? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the exclusive world of ultra-high net worth parenting and education. And let me tell you, it's a lot more than just sending them to the most expensive schools. Stick around, because some of these strategies might surprise you, and you might even find a few golden nuggets you can adapt for your own life, regardless of your bank account. So let's get one thing straight. When we talk about the ultra-rich, we're not just talking about being well off. We're talking about families with generational wealth, the Rockefellers, the Gates, the Waltons. For them, education isn't just about getting good grades or into a top university. It's about preserving a legacy, cultivating a specific mindset, and preparing their children to manage vast fortunes and complex business empires. It's a long-term game, and it starts almost from birth. The first pillar is early exposure and a global perspective. While most kids are learning their ABCs, the children of the super rich are often learning multiple languages, not just in a classroom, but through immersion with native-speaking nannies or extensive travel. They don't just read about different cultures in a book, they experience them firsthand. A summer might not be spent at a local camp, but perhaps learning about marine biology on a yacht in the Galapagos or visiting a family-funded social project in Africa. The goal here is to create global citizens who are comfortable anywhere in the world and understand the nuances of different markets and societies. This isn't just tourism. It is a curated educational journey designed to broaden their horizons and build an international network from a very young age. Next up is the concept of real-world education. You might think their lives are sheltered, but in many ways, they're exposed to high-stakes business and finance concepts incredibly early. It's not uncommon for a teenager in one of these families to sit in on board meetings, listen to investment pitches, or even be given a small seed fund to manage. Warren Buffett famously bought his first stock at age 11. He wasn't just given an allowance, he was taught the principles of value investing. This hands-on approach demystifies money and business. Instead of money being a taboo subject, it's an open conversation. They learn about profit and loss, risk and reward, and philanthropy, not as abstract theories, but as practical, everyday realities. They're taught to be stewards of wealth, not just consumers of it. Of course, formal schooling is still a huge part of the equation, but it's a whole different ballgame. We are talking about the most elite private schools in the world, places like Ellie Rosie in Switzerland or Phillips Exeter Academy in the US. These institutions offer more than just stellar academics. They provide unparalleled networking opportunities. The classmates of these kids are the future leaders of industry, politics, and the arts from all over the globe. The connections made in these hallways can last a lifetime and are, frankly, priceless. The curriculum is also tailored. Beyond standard subjects, there's a heavy emphasis on leadership, public speaking, debate, and critical thinking. They aren't just learning what to think, they're being rigorously trained on how to think, analyze, and lead. But here's something that might surprise you. There's a huge emphasis on grit and resilience. Many ultra-wealthy parents are terrified of raising entitled, lazy children who will squander the family fortune. They've seen it happen. This is often called the three-generation curse. The first generation builds the wealth, the second maintains it, and the third loses it. To combat this, they intentionally create challenges. They might make their kids get summer jobs and not a cushy internship at dad's company, but real, character-building jobs. They might be encouraged to start their own small businesses, even if it's just a lemonade stand, to learn the value of hard work and earning their own money. The message is clear: the family name and money provide a safety net and a launch pad, but they do not guarantee success. You still have to work for it. Another key component is mentorship. These children have access to a curated network of mentors that is simply unmatched. It's not just about getting advice from mum or dad. They can have a one-on-one lunch with a Nobel laureate, a tech CEO, or a world-renowned artist. These relationships are carefully cultivated to provide guidance, inspiration, and practical advice from the best in every field. Imagine being a high school student interested in AI and having the opportunity to be mentored by one of the pioneers of the industry. This provides an incredible advantage, accelerating their learning curve and opening doors that are closed to almost everyone else. Now let's talk about values and philanthropy. This is a massive part of their education. Families like the Gates and the Buffetts have made it their mission to give away most of their fortunes. This philosophy is deeply embedded in the upbringing of their children. From a young age, they're involved in the family's charitable foundation. They might be asked to research different causes, evaluate the impact of a donation, and even make decisions on which projects to fund. This teaches them a profound sense of responsibility and purpose beyond simply accumulating more wealth. It frames wealth not as a personal luxury, but as a tool for creating positive change in the world. It's about building a legacy of impact, not just a legacy of assets. So, when you put it all together, what does this educational model look like? It's a holistic 360-degree approach. It blends elite formal education with intense real-world experience. It prioritizes a global mindset, financial literacy, and a strong work ethic. It cultivates resilience by not shielding them from failure, and it instills a deep sense of purpose through philanthropy. It's less about a set curriculum and more about creating a rich, dynamic learning environment that never stops. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for them, but what about the rest of us? And that's a fair point. We don't all have access to Billings, private schools, or a network of CEOs, but the underlying principles, those are surprisingly universal. We can all encourage a love of learning and curiosity in our kids. We can have open conversations about money, even if it's just about budgeting allowance or saving for a toy. We can teach them the value of hard work and the satisfaction of earning something for themselves. We can expose them to different cultures through books, documentaries, or local community events. We can encourage them to volunteer and understand the importance of giving back, no matter how small the contribution. The biggest takeaway from the educational strategies of the ultra-rich isn't about the money. It's about being intentional. They have a clear vision for the kind of adults they want their children to become, and they strategically build an educational ecosystem to support that vision. They invest their most valuable resource, their time and attention, into shaping their children's character, mindset, and skills. And that's a lesson in wealth that's available to everyone. What do you think? Are these methods brilliant, or do they create too much pressure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. See you in the next one.